Let's talk about the control flow. Control flow is something is controlling the flow of data. So like we have in every ETL, SSIS or on-prem thing, we have the similar kind of activities in Azure. Using Azure, in whether we use Azure Data Factory or we use Azure Synapse, it's going to be the same kind of control flow we'll be using. So basically, the control flow is basically is going to rule, is going to define how one activity to another activity will flow. There are multiple activity we can perform. In this demo, I'm gonna soon I'm gonna start the demo, and is this demo basically what we are going to do is we will be having multiple files in one one folder, and we will be selecting CSV file only, and not only the CSV, but also we'll be filtering by specific size of the CSV. So we filter CSV file, we filter a specific size of CSV file, and we copy those file from one location to another location, and we can proceed for load or manipulation. So that kind of demo we are going to perform. Before we start the demo, I just want to give a quickly overview again about the control flow on Synapse or Azure Data Factory here. In Synapse or Azure Data Factory, or in this particular demo, what we are going to do is we are performing the append variable. We also perform set variable. We also perform execute pipeline at the end. Once these are complete, there are some other activity will be performing, like if condition. We'll see how if condition works. We'll see what get metadata is. We'll see how the ForEach look condition works, and lookup, right? So these are all the control flow activity we'll soon explore with our demo. So basically, like in other ETL activity, this Synapse activity also we have success, completion, and failure options or skip option to move one activity to other. Again, this particular demo, what we want to do, we wanted to proceed the CSV file from file location CSV only if there is specific size. With that, this is how it's going to look like. So basically, at step one, is going to we'll have the metadata tags. This metadata will find the CSV file only from multiple files, and then we will have the filter tags. So this filter tags is basically filter CSV only, and from and filter CSV only, and then we will start the for each loop. Within this for each loop, we will have the another metadata, and that metadata tags will filter a specific size of the CSV. So this metadata will read from the result of this, basically, right? And this get metadata activity will send the result to other next activity, and next activity we will be performing is a if condition. Like if file size is matched as expected, then we'll be putting those value on one variable, append variable. If that file doesn't match, we'll send to the another variable or another variable. So for that we'll be creating two variable on our demo, and we'll be putting those variable value in this variable in this system. And finally, once we found our expected file CSV and a specific value, then we'll do the copy activity. Copy activity is basically in this particular scenario, we will be copying those files from input folder to output folder, like source to destination. We're moving the file from one to another. So that is our demo for this. This everything we'll perform is a control flow activity as a part of the control flow activity. So let's begin our demo. So with this demo, again, like we will be utilizing if condition, get metadata, for loop, append variable, set variable, and run pipeline, and things like that. All right, let's jump to the demo now. Okay, my workspace is ready. So we can perform our demo. So to summarize again, what we will be doing here is we want to proceed. We want to copy the CSV file only. If there is more than some specific MB, right? So to do that, we'll be performing this many step. We'll come back and take a look on this again. So let me open my studio. So let me open. In order to do that, let me search Synapse Studio, and then Synapse is already there. So I'm gonna open the Synapse Studio here. while this studio is open, I can show you since we are moving CSV file from one folder to another folder, I'll show you our storage account. So what I have done is we have created a storage account, and within storage account I have called file call a folder called files, and with each file I have input and output folder. So in input, the file, there are multiple different type of file. One I have the RTF, another is text, another I have CSV, another I have is CSV more than 50 KB. So the end goal is my ETL will perform copy this one file from this input folder to the output folder. If I go here again, container files from input to output. So this is what we try to do as a control flow activity here, right? So let me see, my Synapse is open. So let me go to the in order to perform that control flow activity, I have to create the pipeline. So I can create the pipeline here. Okay, so first task for this pipeline is basically we are going to create the variable for now, two variable. So this variable we'll be using later on. So two variable is basically this variable will hold the value, or will hold if the condition meet it true or false, right? So let's create the variable for the pipeline. Before that, let me give the pipeline name. COP copy CSV only CSV file only. Let me name just like that, and then let me come back, remove, and then create the variable. So I will be creating two variable, like to have. So let me do the type array. One is CSV file true, another is CSV file if false. Right. So these two variable will be using later on. So for now, I'm just creating the variable. As we mentioned in our chart, we'll be doing the get metadata step at first to just find the CSV file. So for that, I'm going to source that activity from here. So get metadata. So once I type the get, I'll have the get metadata. So I'm going to name these is name that is find CSV, right? So for that, and then I'm going to go to the setting, and I will have to create the data set. So now where my data set are, right? So my data set will be data lake gen 2. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to get the CSV only. So I'm going to create the that data set. So I'm going to name is CSV file, or unless it's a file list of data set, right? A list of data set, basically. Name it list of files or whatever. So I'm gonna Azure data is to this one because this is I'm gonna use. Let me see. Actually, let me create the new delete storage storage. Let me see if I can. And this is going to be integration, auto integration runtime. I'm gonna use this. Let me subscription is this. Storage account will be this, and this. It's probably the same, but let me just make sure. This is the link server to connect my file. Now I can go to the files folder, and then within files folder I have input folder. The input folder have various type of file right now. So I'm not going to choose any specifically. So I'm not going to select row header. I'm not going to import the schema. So I'm going to choose the none, right? So I'm going to click OK. So that will be my file set. And once we have since there is a multiple file, what I have to do is I have to click on field list, and I'm going to add the argument like child item. Select the child item for that particular file. So this is all. I am going to configure this metadata. Next is we'll be doing filter, right? So we'll be filtering CSV only. So next I'm going to go to the select the filter activity, and drag the filter activity here, and then I'm going to join this filter. I'm going to name this filter filter CSV only. Then I'm going to click on setting, and what I'm going to do is I am going to uh, dynamically create the expression called mm, um, activity. Uh, so so I think the CSV and the find CSV will be the activity, the previous activity I'm reading from. Mm, dot output and then child item, right? So this is the child item. So we are reading from the child item. That child item we have selected previously. So that was there. And for condition, for what condition we will be selecting, that is basically iterate content if there is a CSV only, right? Actually, can you add TINS contents? TINS item item dot name dot I think I have this CSV file. So if item name is CSV, then we will be, so this CSV name is just will be just like that. Let me see, contains is not recognized, right? So this I that is okay. This is the condition. So we'll be getting from here and this condition. So based on this is to filter our CSV file. The next what we're going to do is we will be doing for each activity here. First, second, third item completed. Now we'll be doing the for each item. So I'm gonna for each. So I'm gonna bring this for each here, and then we'll be joining this for each from this filter CSV. That for each we will be doing multiple activity like get metadata, append variable if true, and then copy activity within this for each loop. So mm, proceeding looking and PROC is processing CSV. Let me and I'm just like that, right? And then for setting, what I'm gonna do for item is filters. I am going to do the filter CSV file. CSV filter. I think this is not gonna work. Let me see. Is filter CSV? I name filter CSV only. I have not name is CSV filter CSV. It's gonna work. So basically we are connecting the previous activity from here. All right. Okay. And in activity, for activity, we will be doing some other activity like within for each we will be get meta if condition again, and then this copy activity, right? So in order to do that, I can click on here as well in this button on activity, or you can click on here. So you can click on this button. So it will create a new box where we can perform other activity. Like the another activity we are going to perform is another get metadata, right? So let me bring the get metadata. Um, get metadata here. For get metadata, let me name is get CSV file size. I'm gonna name that this is get CSV file size, right? We will be a specific, we'll be bringing a specific file size for that, and then I'm gonna create the data set just like we have done before. So it's going to be the data exen2, and we will be here, and then the name I wanna give is for this property is file metadata. Then I'm gonna choose the storage, and I will be going to connect with my input folder again. Input folder, but I'm not going to give the name, hard-coded name. I will be not importing schema or header. Now, I can click on open, and then once I have open, I can parameterize our source, actual source, right? So I open that connection source, and then I can click on parameter, and then I can build the parameter. So I'm going to give the parameter name is file name. File name. So this will be my parameter, and then type will be string, value will be provided. So this is the parameter name. We are giving the parameter, right? So this parameter, so I can give the create the path here now for that pattern parameter. So I can build that just by clicking this file name here. Okay, so this is how I parameterize my source file. Any file there. So if I go back here, control for activity, actually right here, and then go to my get data activity, and I will have to do the same thing. That parameter, I have to provide that parameter here as well. Looking and processing this as item. Okay. Once I have this file name, let me do one more thing. Let me look at current item. Yeah. What I need to do, I have to list the field. Based on that, it's going to be filter, the filtration. So I can choose based on size in this and get data based on size. I also want to see the last modified date. Let's see, last modified date. Maybe I want to see something like item name, right? Item name for the field on the field list. And that's about it. We parameterize our source and get CSV file. Now we wanted to do if condition. This get metadata is completed. Now we're gonna do the if condition. Before that, let me quickly publish this and see if there is any error. If there is error, our publish will not work. So it's good practice to publishing in between. So as of now, it's publishing, meaning I do not have the error on my process. It's going good, right? So all right, we'll be adding if condition now to filter if file is good or not, right? So for that, I'm going to click on plus, and I can choose if condition from here, or like we have been doing from here is select and drop. We can do both. So I can select the if condition, and then I can rename that if condition is if file exist or not. Let me put that. Right. If file exists, that a specific format file, we can do something. If not, we can do another thing. Right. If condition. So let's do the activity, and right here we have to provide some. We have to build the configuration, right? Expression. We have to build the expression here. So to build the expression, we need to give a file size, a specific file size. Let's say if get file size is let's say 50 KB, right? Like 50 KB, then or 50 greater than or equals to mark as a as exist. If not, um, you just do nothing or convert something else. So this is what our logic that we wanted to filter. So if true and false, so we will have if this condition based on this expression, if true, what we're going to do, if false, what we are going to do. That is what we are going to perform here. So in true and false, we will be putting as a variable. If true, that file will be in one variable, and then those file will be processed in copy activity. Okay, so now I'm going to click on true this in this window, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the append variable. Append variable is where so there is so this is what if CSV list file is true, then we'll do this. We'll save that file here. So if it's true, we can select here as well, and also we can build the expression here, right? So to build the expression, what you need to do again is we have to go to the previous activity dot AC TIBITY activity. So our previous activity is what? Our previous activity get CSV file size, right? So So I'm going to copy that here. Our previous git previous activity dot output dot item name. So from these files item name, this is how we declare this. This is our source basically. We configure this source per true value. Similarly, we have to do the same configuration for the false item as well, right? Second item. So if it is false, right here, I can click on plus, and then I can search append variable. And for this append variable, what you need to do is basically I'm going to configure that this append variable for append variable, and then this append variable will name will be CSV if false. And then I'm going to go to the setting, and I will be choosing for false. As soon as I choose the false, I have to provide the condition, and then condition is basically the same, just like before. It's just going to read from the last activity, previous activity, activities item section, and then it will declare if it is false or true, right? So if I now, as of now, what we have been doing. So as of now, we have completed from here to up to this point. Right, we append this variable. We initially declare the variable, and then we assign this value and this variable right here. Now the last item is, if we found the data, we have to move this file from source to destination, or perform the copy activity. So for that, what we are going to do is basically, if it is true, within the true, if it is true, I have to click on activity, and then copy data activity. We are performing the copy data activity. So I click the copy data activity. I'm going to click that copy data activity, and then I'm going to name that copy data activity as copy data activity. I'll name moving the file or something like that, right? MOVING, moving files if file found, conditional file found, right? So in general, I just give the name. The source is basically, I have to create the data source. Source. I do not. I will be creating the data source again. So data source is, again, my data source will be in an input folder, and Gen2. This is so your source to copy, and then I'm going to choose link server my storage. I will not be choosing header. I will be selecting my input folder, and here, and then I will be parameterize the file name. So I'm going to do there. So in order to parameterize the file, I gotta go click on open here, and then what I need is I have to give my parameter here. So before I do give the parameter, I provide the parameter name. Let's say file name, and I'm going to go to the connection here again, and then I will be providing my file name as a parameterized value. So this is parameterized. Now what I need to do, the file source is parameterized, right? Connection source connection is parameterized, but the similar time I have to go here to click here, and then I also need to give on copy activity. This is on source. I have to provide that parameter. So click the that value, create the dynamically, and file name, CSV file item name. I think I'm gonna select that. Let me see. What I have to select here, just to making sure. Of okay. Get CSV file size item name. Get CSV file size item name. What is item this one? So get CSV file size from the, once we click here, it will generate a specific expression. Let's see. So this is what is happening. So activity is reading from the activity name, get CSV file size. That's the activity name, and that's activity item name will be reading as a parameter. So this is how I created the source. Now I'm gonna configure the destination like a sink. So in order to create the sink, I am gonna go click on new. So new, destination will be my Gen2 again. Gen2 here, and then click on next text, and then this is something like sync to copy CSV, right? And then I'm gonna select my connection manager. And then I will have to select output folder. here. I don't have anything on that folder yet. I'm gonna not gonna let me keep the first row header as a true and the schema, and I'm not gonna bring the schema. So now now we have to parameterize this file again. To parameterize, I'm gonna click on open, and I'm gonna click on parameterize. Give I'm gonna the name is a file name again here as well. And then I'm going to click on connection. I'm going to build that parameterize this file name through the builder. And also, again, what we need to do, we need to go back to the source to copy and give that parameterize thing. Let's see, things to copy, source to copy. I got to go here. I'm going to click here, and then I will be building the sync file name parameterize. So this will be again the same thing that we are get the CSV file item name, get the CSV file size item name. So activity reading from get CSV file size and item name. So this is what our parameter will be look like. Okay, so I think we have built our ATL, our configuration. This is all we have done it. So basically, as of now, we implemented if condition, get metadata, for loop, lookup, and append variable, set variable, run, and we have not done the run pipeline yet, but we build our pipeline in Synapse. This is going to be the same for Data Factory as well. So if I come back here and see my pipeline is look like this. So basically, find CSV, filter CSV, get CSV. We have the if executor. Then we will be having copy activity here. If I expand this one, let me see if I can make bigger. So now what I can do is I can validate this change. Let's see, your pipeline has been validated, and then see if this is the once you complete your work. In order to save your work into Azure software, you have to publish it. If you do not publish it, then there will be a problem. So seems like I can publish it. Once you publish, then it's going to be saved on the Azure workspace, and then we can run your trigger, right? So without publishing, we cannot run the trigger. So publish has been completed. Next item is basically we can execute the trigger now. We can schedule the execution versus execute now. So let me run this. Trigger pipeline last published configuration. Trigger pipeline now. Okay. Successfully running is copy activity now. So in order to view the status of this run, we can go to the monitor section, and then you can see the copy pipeline run, and there is something is running right now. You can click here, then you can view your status. This looks like our pipeline is completed, successfully completed. And see if our data or file has moved into the output folder, right? So let me refresh this. I need to go here. Let me go to pipeline again. So pipeline completed. Let me go to that file folder. In input folder, I have this folder. It sounds like 50 KB has not been moved. Let me see if I go to storage folder and data lake and container and files and output folder. There is no folder, right? So it sounds like what I need to do here is I need to go to this loop, and then I'm going to open this loop. Within this, the file size right here, I have to update my file size. Let me do that. I think I made 500 GB or something. So my condition doesn't match. That's why the file does not run. So once I update that thing, or if I have that condition, if the condition match in this input folders file, then the file will be moving. So this is what I wanted to show you as a pipeline activity, or what it says a copy data activity or control flow activity. So this is the demo for a control flow activity section, right? So you can do this through Azure Data Factory versus Azure Synapse in the same way. So this is all for now, and we can do this practice. and so we can get familiar more. So thank you for watching. Bye for now.